Hi guys, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Victoria, and if you're not new here and you've seen a couple of my videos, are you subscribed yet? If you don't know, I've been living in South Korea alone for the past 2 years, and while there have been tons of highs, there have been some lows also. Namely, some really weird things that happened to me while I was riding public transportation. Even though these things happened to me, I still do believe that South Korea is a very, very safe country. Compared to the US, it's a lot safer to be on your own, especially at night. If you don't know, Korean subway systems are widely used. They're super efficient, very timely, very clean, and for the most part, very safe. This first situation happened when I was coming home from Seoul. It was like 9 or 10 at night. It was dark outside, but it wasn't like near last train or anything. Usually for me, last train is about 11:30, 12 a.m. So I was going home and I was sitting in a subway car. I was on my phone, I had my headphones in, I was just minding my own business. So I noticed this man stumble into my subway car. He's obviously inebriated and he chooses a seat right across from me. I don't remember if there were other seats open, but I do remember that he chose that one and that he was facing me. I didn't really think anything of it. It wasn't a big deal. You know that feeling though when someone's looking at you for a long period of time? Like you can just tell when someone's staring at you. Yeah, I felt that. So I look up from my phone and I see this drunk man staring at me. You know that shake that they do because they can't sit still because they're so intoxicated? They have to move around a little bit? Yeah, he was doing that. And it was off-putting, but again, I was minding my own business.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but this guy is Korean.
So I proceed to continue looking at my phone, everything's fine. Like 20 minutes have passed since then, and the dude is still staring at me. So at this point, my black girl energy is rising, and I'm starting to get irritated. So I decide that I'm gonna punk him into leaving me alone. So I look up from my phone, and I look at him. And I'm just staring back while he's wobbling around. So we're staring at each other. And I don't give up fights, okay? I'm strong. But this dude was like crazy strong. Like, I don't know if the alcohol gave him superpowers or something, but this dude would not quit. So I looked down, okay? I lost that round. I lost the battle, not the fight, okay? I looked down and I'm like, well, shit. Like, what do I do now? Because he's obviously not gonna quit. I do the one thing that I think can help in this situation. I get up and I don't move subway cars because I did not have the foresight to do that. I moved to the opposite end of the bench to where he could no longer face me directly. He could still see me and I could still see him, but at least he wasn't directly in front of me. Now, this is where it gets
infuriating.
This dude waited for a seat to open directly in front of me and moved to sit in front of me. He actually moved seats to stare at me again. Now, before this, I could have chalked it down to,
He's just drunk, he's just being a little weird, it's a little creepy, but whatever.
But at this point, I'm like seriously starting to get worried. I'm like, is this dude gonna follow me home or jump at me or do some crazy stuff? Like, I don't encounter crazies often, especially in Korea, but this dude was like top of the list, okay? At this point, I can no longer contain myself, okay? I lost the first battle, but I was not going to lose the second one. So, I sit up and I look at him. Mind you, I couldn't speak Korean well then. I mean, I still can't, but I especially couldn't then. So I look at him and I go,
Whoa. Whoa.
like really loud. So I'm saying what in Korean. And when I'm saying this, everyone in the subway car looks at us. They see me doing this, and then they see the drunk guy doing this. But at this point, since everyone's looking at him, he's getting a little embarrassed. Like, I could see him lean back a little bit and then look around. Like, oh, what's happening? Is she yelling at me? Other people could see this happening, but no one tried to help. And this is the thing you have to realize. Korean people are the CEO
Of minding their damn business.
If something's happening and you're distressed and need assistance, don't count on it. Okay, you're on your own. After, like, speaking directly to him, I realized that my efforts were futile. He continued to stare because in reality, I didn't really do anything to make him stop. No one else did anything to make him stop. So he was still free to stare at me. So I did the one thing that I knew would end the entire situation. I moved subway cars, finally. I should have done it in the first place, but I didn't have the foresight to think he would continue to be creepy. There are other situations in which I encountered something very strange, very inappropriate, and I immediately removed myself. That was a learning moment for real. This other situation is the one that I was honestly, like, afraid. Like, this is the one that had me actually, like, kind of fearful. So, again, I was going home. It was about 9 or 10 at night. I was alone. When you live in a small town, or if you live on a line that's kind of disconnected, I'm not going to tell you where I live or what line I'm on, but you know, like, some subway lines are not as populated as others. So it's easy to spot, like, foreign people, like myself. So I walked down to the subway platform, and on my way, I saw a foreign guy. I'll just call him Jay. I don't know. So I pass Jay, and I go, like, 3 subway cars away from Jay. At this point, I'm not keeping tabs on him or anything. I just noticed that he's there, and I walked to whatever subway car I wanted to be at. Now, as I'm standing in front of my subway car, 3 cars away from him, I could feel someone staring. And I look over and it's Jay. Okay? And he's staring hard. Like, he's not looking away as I'm looking at him. He has, like, otherworldly strength. He had the strength of that Korean dude. So I just brush it off and wait for the train to come. When the train comes, I notice Jay walk all the way over to my subway car. Not the door that I'm going in, but like the door next to mine. I get in, I sit down, I can see him, he can see me. And he's still staring. I'm like, okay, maybe he wants to say hi, this is a little creepy.
Like, I'm gonna start keeping track of this guy.
Ladies, you know, if something doesn't really sit right with you, or if you get a weird feeling about somebody, you start to watch them and actively keep track of where they are, what they're doing, if they're moving closer to you, if they're moving further away.
I can't be the only one that does that, okay?
As we're getting closer to my stop, the car is getting emptier and emptier, but Jay is still there. When it came time for my stop and for me to get off, the thing that really, really creeped me out was the fact that Jay got off with me. And I had never seen Jay before in my life, but he's getting off at my station in my small ass town with nothing in it. You might think I'm overreacting, Korea's a big place, people live wherever they live, but something in me just wasn't sitting right, okay? Something in me was telling me, don't walk home.
You don't need to fight anybody tonight, you don't need to put hands up.
Like, this is not how I envisioned my night to go. So I get outside of the station and Jay is still there. There's a taxi stall, like, directly in front of my subway entrance, so I don't have to, like, go walking and find one or anything. At this point, I'm in the taxi, I'm, like, looking out the window to see if he's, like, trying to follow the taxi or something crazy. Thankfully, that didn't happen, so I got home safely, and that was that. Alright guys, so that's the end of my story time, but I want to hear what you think. Do you think I was overreacting? Do you think that I had some grounds to be that, like, self-preservative? Self-preservative. Do you think I had a right to be that fearful? And let me know if you had any other similar experiences while living in Korea or wherever you live. If you're living alone or with family, just let me know. I want to connect with you guys. I know I talked about some scary stuff that happened to me, but there's also been a bunch of positive things that have happened since I moved to Korea. Alright guys, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!